Thanks for tuning back in. I'm Tommy Campbell, still bald, still in my basement, and still laughing at the loser parade of MAGA clowns in Manhattan for Trump. Took a month of him being there alone before they decided to give the sweet potato-headed dingleberry some support. Okay, I'm exaggerating. Eric was there, but he's also Diaper Don's Golden Turd Tong technician, so it's not like he had a choice. What a week it has been. Lauren Boebert was heckled, chaos erupted in the House with Jasmine Crockett hilariously mocking Marjorie Taylor Greene, AOC played referee, and many are comparing the situation to a Jerry Springer episode. Meanwhile, Mike Lindell felt compelled to recount his Henry Hill end of Goodfellas drug story to Homeland Security, and it's just bizarre. I'll have an epic breakdown of the chaos, getting into the comments, the insults, the crazy, and more, starting with this.
President Trump, when he was in office, he underwent testing for his cognitive dissonance, for his ability to function as President of the United States, as the Commander-in-Chief.
Nailed it, sweetheart. Trump had a screening test that is intended to assess mild cognitive impairment or early dementia. Again, that test was issued by Ronnie Jackson, and Trump thought he was a hero for recognizing animal shapes. But what Lauren said here, cognitive dissonance, is the discomfort a person feels when their behavior does not align with their values or beliefs. Cognitive dissonance is a psychological phenomenon that occurs when a person holds two contradictory beliefs at the same time. Lauren could actually be an example of this, since she truly believes she's the Christian of all Christians, while boasting about her arrests, poisoning people with meat, getting in altercations with police, and dishing out handies at the theater. Hey, Lauren, it's not praying if there's a piece of meat between your hands. It is pouring MAGA tears. I played in 35 countries for over 2 decades, but most days you'll find me here. Thanks for taking in this bald comedian's take on things. Please join the best subscribers on YouTube while I blast the latest and stupid and more.
I managed to spend a few minutes at Barron's high school graduation. I even stood next to my wife in her silly hat while I text Matt Gaetz pictures of the ceremony before ditching my pretend model third wife for a dumpster fire rally in Lumpy Pillow Guy's home state.
This is really cool.
The hearing that was supposed to center around a resolution regarding Attorney General Merrick Garland went sideways. Here's some of the crazy that went down.
I'd like to know if any of the Democrats on this committee are employing Judge Merchan's daughter.
Please tell me what that has to do with Merrick Garland. Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about AG.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No,
what you're
ain't
reading.
nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person?
Are your feelings hurt?
Her words down.
Aw.
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play.
Baby girl? I don't think
we are
so.
going to move, and we're going to take your words down.
I second that motion.
I just think the real reason the insult flops is because Jasmine looks great, with them or without them. To me, this is more about Marjorie Taylor Greene trying to make this hearing about something else by discussing the judge's daughter off the top and then being trashy and snappy when people try and steer the conversation back to what they're actually there for.
Why don't you debate me?
Mr. Chairman, the
minority. It's pretty self-evident.
You're not.
Yeah, you're not. You don't have enough
You're out of order.
intelligence.
Chair recognizes Mr. Perry.
Okay, move to strike
I'd like to strike those words as well.
I move to
I would
strike
like
the lady's
well.
words again.
AOC said it's self-evident. In other words, you can't debate stupid. You can't. There is no point in having a discussion with a crazy person. They strike the words, and I just see no point in that either, since we just heard and saw it all go down. But her unwillingness to apologize leads to the smackdown. Now, the best thing here is seeing Raskin immediately get exactly who Jasmine is talking about, and Comer trying to process the information because he is in the Jim Jordan permanently confused crowd.
Who's?
It's me.
Ms. Crockett.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
A what now?
Chairman, I make a motion to strike those words.
I don't think that's
Hold
a
on.
part
I'm
of it.
trying to find clarification on what qualifies.
Chairman, motion to
I
strike
had no
those
idea
words.
what you just said.
We're not gonna do this. Look, you guys.
I think my body's pretty good. I'm going to be 50
Point of order.
this month. I am. I turned 50.
Mr. Chairman.
Pretty good.
Mr. Chair.
She thinks her body's pretty good. If you continue doing exercise like this, your joints will be on a revenge tour for the rest of your life. But this wasn't the only shouting this week. Outside the Trump trial, someone gloriously held up a bootlicker sign and Lauren got heckled with Beetlejuice.
And I want all of the news to start asking the question, what is the crime? Because everyone in this court has not been informed of what the crime is. The defendant does not know the crime that was committed.
Although I love the Beetlejuice being shouted at her, the true goal is just watching the others escape it all. They just leave her sinking like a boat in the Trump parade. I recently covered her model citizen son, Tyler, showing up in court without a lawyer after failing to fill out the form, and noted how his mother was not there either. She couldn't hit up a local appearance to support her own son, but flew to New York to marinate in the Trump funk.
Just if they bring up drugs or whatever, just say you had a few issues. I'm going, why can't I just say I was a crack addict? You know, why are you censoring me, basically? And all of a sudden, the one lady from Homeland Security, she goes, this is in my book. She says, I read somewhere that you were you were a crack addict or cocaine. She said one or the other. And I said,
it's not one or the other, honey. It's both. Also, crack addict will always crack me up.
Going across, my license was only good in 49 states. It wasn't good in Minnesota. I said, boy, do I got a story for you, because this is Homeland Security now. I said, so here I am leaving the state of Minnesota. I couldn't wait to get into Wisconsin. I had a whole bunch of cocaine. I'm going to do a pillow show. Back then, and yes, I was still on drugs when I invented the pillow. That was in 2004, everybody.
Sometimes I think he gives his substance abuse a lot of credit for helping invent that pillow. But going to a pillow show, I don't get it. What sane person needs to go to a show to buy a pillow?
Anyway, I got this little beat-up pickup truck with the pillows shrunk down. They're shrunk down, and, very small and wrapped in big plastic, so it looked like a big bomb going down the highway. Imagine this little tiny pickup truck, this big white, 3 times the size of the truck. And I'm inside the truck, and I'm doing lines of cocaine and driving this truck. I was great. I'm in Wisconsin now, and heading down the highway. Well, all of a sudden, I kept seeing this helicopter. Now, I'm telling this story to this to these people at this table, this Homeland Security, this couple from there, and the CIA guy, and all these other federal marshal's office. They're all there. Anyway.
This is nuts. He's going full Don Jr. in a vehicle with an oversized load and a license not even valid in the state, using a very spilly white powder in a moving vehicle that would be like a sailboat in the wind. This is just insane. I'm also waiting for him to say he accidentally turned the air conditioning on.
Federal marshal's office. They're all there. Anyway, I kept seeing this helicopter, and all of a sudden I looked, I'm about 30 miles down the road, and the helicopter showed up 3 times. Well, I look over, and there's no cars coming on this 4-lane highway from that direction. I'm going, that's strange. That's really weird. And then, I look in front of me. There's no cars in front of me. It was like a weird thing, like I'm kind of the only one on the highway. And there was nobody behind me. And it was very strange. And so I come up over the hill about a mile down the road, and all I see is Homeland Security. They had a roadblock there, and this helicopter landed, and somebody had reported these pillows as a bomb going down the road.
Yes, it's a real helicopter. You weren't paranoid, just like Henry Hill near the end of Goodfellas. I just don't understand, though, how someone would see a bunch of pillows in a truck or any weird vehicle and just think, bomb, that's a bomb. We have a lot of clever people.
They didn't know me as my pillow then. I guess maybe there was a couple that might have. They took apart all the pillows, and I hadn't even been on TV yet. I take that back. I hadn't even been on TV because this was in 2008, I believe. So yeah, I hadn't been on TV. Nobody knew my pillow from the Man on the Moon. Because I was still, I didn't do TV until after I got off drugs.
I love the clarification that he didn't do TV until he was off drugs. The truth is, TV is what usually gets folks into them.
Well, anyway, they seen they were pillows, and they put everything kind of back together, and told me I shouldn't have stuff hanging over the side and all this. And the lady from Homeland Security, she says to me then, after they're all hearing this story, I'm telling to all these, 4 forkers at this big event and three to 4 forks. I didn't even know what to do to all these forks. And she says, well, what'd you do with the cocaine? I said, well, I seen the movie with the helicopter. I did it, got rid of it. I did it all.
Seen the movie with the helicopter. Okay, see, he's actually talking about Goodfellas now. But in the film, Henry didn't do it all. He nearly got in a car crash, picked up a gym bag of Coke, checked on his marinara sauce, cut the stuff at his girlfriend's, came home for dinner, and then got raided in his driveway while his wife was breaking cloud bricks in the toilet. He did a lot, but he didn't panic and do it all. That was you, Lindell. If you love what I do here and you can afford to help out, throw me a buck with the PayPal link in the pinned comment or drop me a super thanks with this button. And please take 2 seconds after this video to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. These things are free and help the show grow. Thank you.
Hey, I know Donald Trump. He says, would you like to meet him? And he was this Diamond Award thing. And I had never watched The Apprentice, and I just knew, the name Donald Trump, of course. And
What's truly fascinating to me is not only that Mike recounted this to Homeland Security, FBI, and CIA, it's that as a white man high as balls with a totally illegal load, they let him go. Did he realize he was telling them how incompetent they are? Does he realize this is peak white privilege? And again, after knowing all this, they were like, yeah, you should meet Donald Trump. And then they let him in the Oval Office with his martial law papers. These people try and tell you the Trump trial is a waste of resources. And here's Lindell shutting down a 4-lane highway, creating a roadblock because he needed to get Don Jr. to sell pillows at a fair.
Go. And while we're at it, there should be no notes, no teleprompters, Joe. In other words, Joe, you don't get giant cheat sheets telling you where.
And unfortunately, I haven't seen Joe Biden even read a teleprompter properly.
I just think back to when I was a waiter. It's been over 2 decades since I did it, but I always wrote orders down right in front of the customer. I felt that it made them feel comfortable. Like we've all been giving our order to a waiter and thinking, are you writing this down? You should be writing this down. I mean, you're dumb enough to have a man bun. I doubt you're going to remember the allergy thing my wife mentioned in the salad she invented that's not even on your menu. I also found the other reason you write stuff down is because even if it's just like another glass of wine, you don't know what's going to happen between you and the table and the bar. A server could drop a tray of plates, a drunk customer could fall. You may even seen a beautiful woman. It can all lead to, what was I doing? What was I getting? Notes are fine. We all use them.
Because I think one of the main issues that we're seeing right now is whether he has the mental capability to be even considered. And I'm talking about Biden, obviously. And
were you talking about Biden, Alina? Were you? Alex here, still in the bunker with Marjorie. Again, good dude. Well, she was just called a bleach blonde, bad-built butch body. And I would be lying if I said I did not agree with those accusations. MTG dyes her hair so often that the sink looks like a clogged truck stop urinal. Like, I'm totally cool with, like, the dog bounty hunter look, though. I mean, I like it. I think it's pretty cool. I even once bought her a little feather to put in her dried apricot hoggle labyrinth ear. I mean, I think she looked fantastic with it, like a unhealthy Keith Richards with a cheese brain. Now, as much as I agree with the B statement, it is tough to witness my Georgia gremlin get put up against the ropes with the savage insults, and she's lucky, seriously. Jasmine Crockett could have went there. I mean, maybe she was scared. I'm terrified of the things. I don't even know if they're human. You know what I'm talking about? Look, Jazzy Jazz, if you want to really lay into the blonde meat swamp, there's always the nuclear option. And I don't just say nuclear because it's explosive like Trump's bowels after a handful of Ronnie Jackson pills and a sack of KFC, but also because they got to be radioactive. I'm just saying. Maybe her mom was doing plutonium shooters with the Libyans because the rest of her is like decent enough if you've had 5 beers and a head injury. But when you travel past the shin, you get into mortadella meat stump territory. We're talking skin so bubbly, it's somewhere between the edge of a 2-fried egg and a teenage Klingon addicted to long-life garlic bread and dollar store chocolate. You know, if like the Hollywood globalists wanted to remake Child's Play into an actually scary movie, like one that Matt Gaetz couldn't even bring his date to, then they should use the Marjorie doll. Remember that? Imagine if that thing came to life and started doing like evil stuff, like taking her socks off. It would have to be rated C for Chunderbucket. Dump out your popcorn and fill it up because what is the rule, MTG?
The socks stay on.
Your socks stay on. More fake liberal news. MAGA tears. Has this pretend comedian ever made one person laugh ever? I really don't think so. MAGA tears. MAGA 24. MAGA tears. Took a month of him being there alone before they decided to give the sweet potato-headed dingleberry some support. Okay, I'm exaggerating. Eric was there, but he's also Diaper Dawn's golden turd tong technician. So it's not like he had a choice. Well, she was just called a bleach blonde, bad-built butch body. I love it. I'm totally cool with her dog the bounty hunter look, though. I even once put a little feather in her dried apricot hoggle labyrinth ear. Cognitive dissonance is a psychological like, you know what I'm talking about? Look, Jazzy Jazz, if you want to really lay into. Hey, Lauren, it's not praying if there's a piece of man meat between your hands. You know, if the Hollywood globalists wanted to remake Child's Play into like an actual scary movie, like a real one, like one that Matt Gaetz couldn't take his date to. Thanks for watching. Please stick around and check out another one of my videos. Say hello in the comments. Find my stand-up on Spotify, streamed by millions, and add me on Facebook and Instagram. It all helps. Be cool, be kind, take care.